So, tonight we're going to do steak au poivre. So let me tell you how we got started. So last night we seasoned this steak with salt and pepper, left it in the refrigerator overnight to get happy. The important thing to remember is actually when the pepper is on there and the steak is sort of resting for a while, that's a good thing. So we should talk about the pepper. So there's two ways to do the pepper. So if you have one of these nice mortar and pestles, you just take the peppercorns, you pour them into the mortar and pestle, and you just break them up real nice. Very simple. You're after a really coarse kind of a pepper situation, right? So that's the pepper. The other approach is to take a nice saute pan and you can put out a little paper towel like that. You pour the peppercorns on the paper towel. They agree. And then you just take the pan and you just smash them, right? That makes another nice coarse kind of a pepper situation. So that's the pepper, very important. Now these steaks, like I said, have already got the pepper and salt on them from yesterday, and so they're ready to go in the pan. So I should talk a little bit about the pan. And the ingredients real quick for this happen to be salt, butter, a nice cognac, a little bit of heavy cream. So, a little heavy cream. And some nice stock. So those are the details. We should start with the pan. So some people actually like to use a skillet for this recipe. This is my skillet. I don't really like to use a skillet because the skillet is seasoned, and I don't like to put my skillet in the water so it gets unseasoned. So I wouldn't do it with a skillet. So what we're going to use today is not going to be a skillet. It's going to be a nice saute pan. Let's get that hot. So we get this hot, and the other thing that's actually going with this meal is we're going to do some nice gold potatoes with a puree of cauliflower to get everything going. What else do we need? We just now have to wait until the pan gets hot, but while that's getting hot, you should recall these. These are the nice garden fresh chives you sent me, and so we need to make sure that it turns out these little pieces at the bottom probably not very nice to eat. So we're just gonna get them ready. These are from Nantucket. They're from you. They're awesome. So we're just gonna take them off. Take these pieces off and prepare them. And the goal here is to get some of the stalks. It's actually a very firm spice. Some of the stalks we're going to just chop up, and some of them we're going to use as garnish. We're going to make it pretty, right? So we just take a bunch of these, peel off that piece, and this is completely edible. But that piece is kind of not so great, so I'll take it off. Keep taking these guys off. It's a little short, so I can. these guys all off. That's a nice one, actually, very purple. That might be a good garnish one. The casing is still soft. Take all these guys off. Got a few more of these guys. Now these literally start to grow in this water. We put them in after we got them in the mail, which is pretty cool. So take all these guys off. Okay. And our pan's getting hot over there, so we should check on it. That's good. So we've got these that we want to get or make a garnish. And the tops we can worry about a little bit later. But we need some nice chop there, so I'm gonna nice chop. Keep those for later. So this is, you see, it's really hot. The other thing we want to sort of emphasize here is that this is beef fat that was taken from, we did hamburger. And so sometimes that's actually a handy thing to use because it turns out these steaks are tenderloins. And so there's not a lot of fat on them. So you gotta, you might want to add a little bit of fat to get them going. Turn this on. Fan. So it's plenty hot. You got some fat in there. Just get these going. The idea is we want a nice sear on them. Tongs out. This is when you can actually take a nice tip of beer. So this is the cognac I like to use. And let's just get a shot of that. Got our cream on deck. Peppers all done. Now the other thing too is we want to finish off some of this in the oven. So it's a good idea to have something handy to actually let them rest in the oven. And I'm just going to make sure this temperature is right so that we can do our sauce while this is cooking off in the oven. Take this, put it in the oven, and it's done. So this dish was a favorite of both Joe and myself, and we like to have it every so often. And it was birthday on Sunday, and so I figured I'd have a bunch of courses and we could do this for her birthday. We didn't get to this yesterday, so we're finishing it today. You want a good color on both sides. And you can see this is pretty thick. And we're just going to be judging doneness based on how much the meat pushes back, right? Nice beefy smell to it. Very nice. Check the potatoes. Chives ready. Get our garnish ready. Our plates ready. Now let's put our plates over here. Still pretty rare, but we're trying to go for a color that's the same on both sides. The oven is now ready to accept it. Still pretty rare. And so the idea is that once the cooking is done enough on the stove top, you get things into the oven, low heat, and continue finishing off in there, and then you use the top pan for the sauce, right? And you see there's like little brown bits in the pan there from the sauteing process, and there's pepper and all kinds of good stuff in there. flame. Using my use on top. Something interesting. And a nice crust is actually very nice. So you see here, it's got a nice crispy crust, good color to it. I like it that way. You know, some people, it's up to you. You do it the way you think you like it. It's a very smoky kind of a dish, as you can see, and so it makes a lot of smell too. We're almost close. We're almost close here. And some people use a meat thermometer. I do too, but I like to see how much the meat pushes back when I poke it. Give a little bit, you know, poke it to see for yourself. This is still pretty rare. Check your stock to make sure it's hot enough. So now I like the color of both of these. So what I'm going to do is take them off. Turn this down a little bit. Into the oven it goes. This goes down a little bit. Because now we don't want to burn the cream. We want this to chill out a little bit. But the other thing too is that this next step is sort of pyrotechnic, so it's going to cause some problems if we're not careful. So I take it off the flame. And let the alcohol boil off. A little bit more. Just all over the place. And the cool thing about the cognac is that it actually provides this nice, nutty flavor profile that's very good. It's just really, really nice. So now we're just deglazing this pan with the cognac and letting it reduce a little bit. And most of the alcohol is pretty much gone now. So you can, before you got that, actually, you can remove this beef stock. With that reduced, then the cream. Beef stock, that's another video. And you can be pretty liberal with the beef stock. It's like Going to give you lots of depth of flavor. Let that reduce so that it's by about half, maybe somewhere around there. So all we really have left now is just the heavy cream reduction. I can turn this up a little bit. And that, just put a picture. Oh yeah, okay. Keep cooking. So it starts bubbling. You want to let it continue to reduce. You can taste it too. Yeah, needs to reduce a bit. For the stock, make sure you always start your stock from scratch, because that provides the best depth of flavor. So when you make your stock, you can put in beef bones, leftover chicken bones if you want. You could add onions, celery, carrots, a bay leaf, some herbs de Provence. All that good stuff should go right into your stock pot, and it takes a whole day. Like I said, that's going to be a different video. But I think you know that already, so because you do that all the time anyway. So just keep letting it go here. Turn it up. Since there's no cream in there just right yet, you can turn it up a little bit and let it kind of reduce that way. When the cream hits, though, you probably want to turn it down a little bit, because that can cause some problems. Looks good. Good time for sit here. So those are still pretty rare, so I think I'm gonna crank those up a little bit to get that process going. Okay, what else? So you can do a salad too. The salad I would recommend with this is the one we talked about. So you could get a nice fresh summery kind of salad with roasted around cucumbers. English cucumbers are nice. So you could use English cucumber with some nice pickled red onions and more chive, which we're out of now, but you can take the chive and you can make a nice salad of that. That would be nice. This is starting to reduce real nicely. And what happens is when it reduces, it actually starts to intensify. So you wanna let it reduce to the point where you can gauge the right salt. Right. So right now, this probably is intensified to the point where might be a little saltier. That's true. So it's good. Nice beef flavor to it. I'm gonna keep letting it go. You can taste that nutty profile from the cognac. Very nice. So literally, when this is, I would say like you do by half. A lot of times I like to almost let it go to nothing until you get it's not like a dry boil, but it just has the flavor from the bits, and then I deglaze again with the cream. Okay, so now it's at the point where there's almost nothing left. So now we add some heavy cream. Turn it down a little bit. And I don't measure. I just let it rip. And now we let it reduce again. Probably want a little bit more heavy cream. Done. Okay. Let this go. Check here. Again. Turn this guy up a little bit. Get this reduced. The other thing is you can actually take these guys here, since you have your garnish. If you want, you can take the heads off of this guy, or these remaining spices, like that, and use the heads that way, and then take these guys and use the rest of them. Watch out for your fingers. I'll take this stuff. Now when you see your cream start to do that, turn it down a little bit. Okay. Now some people like to use half and half or think that half and half. You cannot get half and half that hot without it breaking. Heavy cream, on the other hand, can tolerate the heat. So if you do this recipe, I strongly recommend heavy cream because that will give you a much better end product. Just let it keep going. It's going to continue to reduce. Now, watch out for these guys here. Okay, so not much longer to this. These guys are looking good. Let that go. These buds, make sure they're not overcooking. Looking good, looking good, looking good. Let's see here. Want this reduced by quite a bit. Now, if you like a richer kind of a darker look to your sauce, you can start with you can do more of the stock, right? So. It's all according to what you like, right? The other thing too is that for this recipe, it doesn't really call for mushrooms, but sometimes if you have mushrooms kicking around and you like that sort of thing, you can add some mushrooms. If you like grilled onions, we're using chive here. Some people do grilled onions because they like that. So onions, mushrooms, those are all very good compliments, in my opinion. The classic recipe doesn't really offer any of that stuff. It's very straightforward. And in fact, a lot of the classic recipe, a lot of times you won't see people use supreme. I like to because it makes for a nice sauce. So we want to give our meat an opportunity to rest. So I've been letting it cook in the oven for a little bit. The way I typically do this is I get some aluminum foil and check. I like the pushback from getting out, so I'll take it out. And you really should take it out of the pan to do it properly. Let me get a plate real quick. Sorry, I wasn't ready for that. And plate. Let it rest. paste. Okay. Turn that off. Almost ready. So that's going to rest for about 5 to 7 minutes, somewhere around there. This is just about done. Spuds are done. We'll butter the plate with the spuds. We'll plate it up. They'll actually do a couple ways. One way we'll also slice it up. And the last thing we put in is a little bit of butter, just to finish off things.